Hello everyone, welcome back in Hotel Mammon video lecture. Myself Arvind Chauhan, Assistant Professor, BBD University, Lucknow. I'm here to deliver a lecture on your food and beverage service, which is given topic.
Hello everyone. I am here to discussing your third year, fifth semester, Food and Beverage Service BHM2502, which is Food and Beverage Service, fifth semester, all the alcoholic beverages. So today we will discuss about the distilled beverages. First we will go through the your as per your learning objectives, which is history of distillation process and type of scale for measuring alcoholic strength. Alright. Also we will learn define spirits and classify them and understand distillation process, understand various production process of spirits, whiskey, rum, brandy, tequila, gin, and their characteristic as well, with their brand name also. Understand the traditional spirits, tequila, absinthe, tequila, ouzo, etc. And also we'll learn, understand the production of liqueurs, able to know the flavor, base and color of the liqueurs, understand the various method of making cocktails, understand the point while making the cocktails. So in your syllabus there are 4 units, which is distilled beverages, first unit, second unit is traditional spirits, and third unit liqueurs, and in fourth units you will learn what are the cocktails. All right. So all the traditional spirits and liqueurs are here. So we will learn one by one. So in this video, we are making what is the distillation process and history of the distillation. Okay. So one by one go through, and we will come to know each and everything. So the distillation here you can see here there's a distillation process. Distilling was used as early as 35,000 BC in Mesopotamia. All right, where perfume makers had developed it is a technique for isolating the scented oil of flavor and plants, what we know as ether. All right. So how it's come to history says the first early 3500 BC in Mesopotamia, the perfume maker was developed the technique to isolate the oil and flower and plant as a scented form. That's called ether. All we know that what is the ether. All right. In another line, there is written over here around 1100 AD, wine was first distilled to make spirit by Irish monk who traveled around Europe. The result of distillation were considered to have magical power, and this led to alcohol being called water of life or uses beat, uses beata in Gallic, eau in France, and aquavit in Latin. So there are technical things which is must aware about these things. Alcoholic led to alcohol is called water of life, or in Latin is called usage wheat, and in France is called eau de vie. In the Latin is called aquavit. Okay, let us come to the definition of distillation. Distillation is a process of converting a liquid into a gas or vapor by heating it and then condensing it back into the liquid form. What is the definition of the distillation? Distillation is a process of converting a liquid into gas. See, in this process, we convert liquid into the gas by the heating. In this process, we have to heat one pot. We have to heat one pot, and then the liquid will evaporate, and then we collect in condensation into the liquid form. All right. So this is the process. Process again, I'm repeating, is the process of converting liquid into a gas or vapor by heating it, then condense it back into the liquid form. Or also you can say it is a process of separating element in a liquid by vaporization and condensation, by vaporization and condensation, like separating the liquid. Because when you're making the alcohol, you have to separate uh, commodity from the you have to separate the alcohol from the commodity, right? Whatever mass you have obtained from the grain, you have to separate the alcohol from there, right? The method has many applications, and one of them is production of spirits. In the distillation process, the alcohol which is present in the fermented liquid, which is called alcohol wash, is separate from water, right? Spirits are example of distilled drink, and the plant producing the spirit as known as distilleries. So what are the distilleries? Spirits are example of distilled drink, and the plant producing the spirit are known as distilleries. Okay. Okay, next line. When spirit are distilled, the origin liquid has already been fermented and is an alcohol wine or was. After the wine or was has been converted into vapor and then condensed back into the liquid is called distillate. Impurities are left behind in the original container. When spirit are distilled, the original liquid has already been fermented and its alcohol wine or was is called after the wine or was has been converted into vapor and then condensed back into the liquid is called distillate. Impurities are left behind in the original container. One more thing I want to tell you here. In third semester you have learned about the wines. All right. I hope you know what is the wines. Wines is a alcoholic fermented alcoholic beverage, right? But whiskey are fermented and distilled alcoholic beer, right? So in this we have to ferment and then is distill also, right? Okay. The equipment used to distill spirit is called still method. Still has three essential parts. The original container. In the wash is the wine is heated to turn into vapor. The condenser is which the vapor is cooled, and the receiver in which the distillate or distillate spirit is collected. The system work because ethanol boil at 78.5 degrees Celsius and water at 100 degrees Celsius. So ethanol, what is the ethanol? What is ethanol? Ethanol is basically it is a alcohol. It is a alcohol. The temperature, boiling temperature of alcohol is 78.5 degrees Celsius. Remember this. And the water temperature is 100 degrees Celsius. When the alcoholic was is heated to 78.5 degrees Celsius and boil off, leaving other constituents, mostly water, behind. So what happens is the your alcohol will getting separate from the your commodity and you will connect in by the condensation. All right. The first part of the distillate is the head, followed by heart, and lastly the tails. So what is the meaning of head, heart, and tails? Here, head and tails contain mostly impurities which also add to flavor. Head and tails contains mostly impurities which also add to flavor. The distiller would delegate the amount of impurities required and for what purposes. The original liquid from which drinkable spirit is distilled can be grape wine, as in case of brandy, sugar wine, or rum, fruit wine, or cherry brandy, or melted or unmalted grain wine for whiskey, gin, and vodka. Okay, so you have learned what should be temperature? What should be the alcoholic steaming temperature? 78.5 degrees Celsius or 75 degrees Celsius. Okay. So there is a word which is come is head, heart, and tails. All right. So head means which is the first part of our distillating process. All right. After distillation, we got the heart. Heart is the second part of the distillation, and tails. A whole mixture will get evaporate, and we will get this is tails, the remaining parts. All right. So there's a two method of distillation process. One is the still, and second one is pot still. All right. Pot is still also known as sorry, patent and pot. All right. Still method, pot still. Okay. Still method is called a pot, and then we will learn patent and also known as continuous still. So first is the pot still. The pot is still our alembic, and alembic is the earliest and traditional form of still. They were basically enclosed kettle which narrow towards the top to collect vapor created by boiling a downward pipe from the head carried the vapor through cold water and caused it condense, and it could be collected in the receiving chamber. All right. Okay, so here you can see that there is a port still. This is the still first method of port still is. This is the conical container, and then you have to heat it. Then all alcohol which come down by the separation of steaming and condensation. Then a wash chamber. Then is spirit still. Then it's come to condensation. So this is the same method is convert in a thrice or 4 to 5 times. Then we collect in cool, and then collect in a various kind of chambers. All right. Okay. So next one is, all right. So we were discussing the pot still. You have you see the picture also. You have seen in picture. Okay. The pot still is the earliest and traditional form. The still these were basically enclosed cattle which narrow towards the top to collect vapor created by boiling downwards pipe from the head, carried the vapor through cold water and caused it to condense, and it could be collected in receiving chamber. All right. Copper was the best metal for making the still add, as it drew out the impurities from alcohol. It produced distilled spirit in batches, one batch at a time. It is a laborious and time-consuming process. They still have to be loaded up, boiled off, cleaned, and recharged for every run. Advantage of pot still method: it produces spirit that are individualistic due to the presence of congener. Spirits with pronounced aroma are produced. Spirits with heavy body produce a small quantity of wash can be distilled. So these are the advantages of pot stills. All right. See, there's a term is called congeners. Okay, so what are the congeners? Congeners are substances other than the desired type of alcohol, ethanol producing during fermentation. This substance include a small amount of chemicals such as methanol, and other alcohol, acetone, acetaldehyde, esters, tannin, and aldehydes, so on so. Alright, so these are called congeners. Okay, so next is disadvantage of pot still. It needs more time and labor. More time and labor. It is costly to operate. Sorry, needs frequent cleaning and refilling after each distillation. These are the disadvantages. Now we come to the patent distill method. It was not until late 1830s that a new form of still was invented, which produced spirit as long as the was fed into it. It was called continuous still or patent still or the cafe still. All right. So you should remember this thing. This is the very key points, key terms, which is patent still, also known as continuous still, patent still, and coffee still. All right. Okay. One more thing is that the the coffee is a name come from the person who named after Annis Cafe, who planted the still in the year of 1830 at 31. All right. So the coffee still is the name of the author is Annis Coffey, who planted this patent distill method. All right. Okay. It had two columns, the analyzer and rectifier column. It has two columns, analyzer and rectifier column. The analyzer vaporized the alcohol from the hot wash. Okay. The rising alcohol vapor proceeds to the rectifier column where they cool down on coming in contact with the cold wash. This purifies, increases the strength and condenses the alcoholic vapor. This process produces lighter style of spirits, light body spirits. Alright, just look at the picture of this. Just a moment, you can see the picture here. Okay. This is the patent, still you can see in the picture. There is the alcoholic vapor leaves and analyze the column, enter the analyzer column to further distillation. Hot wash enter the analyzing column. Spit wash, these are the spit wash. Hot wash leaving the rectifier column. Steam entering the analyzing column from the base. Okay, cold wash entering the rectifier column. Head utilized vapor collected the further distillation. Cold plant which condense the alcoholic vapor. Spirit is collected. An alcoholic vapor entering the base of rectifier column tails in the further distillation. All right. So these are the like you can see, these are the plates. These are plates. So you pass the whole cold mixture in onto it, and definitely it will become cold and come to down. You can collect. Right. All right. The cold alcoholic was enter the pass down the rectifier column in long serpentine like pipe. It get heated up by the hot vapor using up the column and vapor cool when it contact with the cold wash pipelines. The hot wash entire the analyzer column enters the analyzer column at the top and flow on a series of perforated plate one is way down. It make the ascending steam and it's called the alcohol vapor rises. The balance of the wash which heavy in impurities is draw off and bottom and converted into animal feed. Right, so these are the perforated plates. Right. Okay. So back to the topic. So we were discussing the patent stills. Okay. So then what are the advantages of patent still method? It does not require too much labor, cleaning and refilling. Okay. So patent still method does not require more labor, cleaning and refilling. More quantity is produced as compared to pot still. It is cost effective. Disadvantage of patent distill: it is not suitable for distilling in small quantity of spirits. Aroma and other essential elements that are required in drink may be achieved. So these are the disadvantages. It is not suitable for distilling a small quantity of spirits. Okay. Okay, so again, this is the important point as per your syllabus: how to check the proof system in the bottle of whiskey, rum, brandy, tequila, and wine as well. Okay. So alcohol content and proof. All right. Okay. Different alcoholic beverages have different alcoholic strength that has indicated by the word proof on the bottle. Right. In the early days, the distiller used to check the strength by adding gunpowder and setting it alight. In earlier, what the people are doing, they add gunpowder on it and then check, setting it alight. If it burst with the bang, it was too strong, hence overproof, and if Fiji out them, it was weak. And underproof, it is burned with the steady blue flame, it was proved to be around 50% alcohol and just right to drink. Hence, the proof system was developed. So this is the way usually earlier they are doing, right? So nowadays they have some categorized, they have some measuring scale, strength, alcoholic strength. By this they are used to do, and each and every country. Okay. So there are the three scale of measuring proof, namely Gay-Lussac or GL system. Gay-Lussac is full form of GL, full form of Gay-Lussac. In this system, the proof is equal to percentage. In this system, proof is equal to percentage of alcohol in the spirits. So if vodka has 43% percentage alcohol, it is 43 proof GL, right? Okay, if the vodka has 43 volume, right? So the proof in GL is 43 degrees Celsius, right? Now come to another one. British and Canadian proof. British and Canadian proof: Bartholomew Sky device a hydrometer which calculates that 57.1% of alcohol is equivalent to 100% BP. So 100% alcohol is equal to 175% BP. This British and Canadian proof system is says like this. Okay. Next is American US proof. In this system, 50% alcohol is equal to 100% US proof. Are you getting? In American proof, 50% alcohol is equal to 100% US proof. If the US proof is there, it means there is a 50% alcohol. Therefore, 100% alcohol is equal to 200 US proof. Therefore, we can say that 100% GL is equal to 175% BL is equal to 200 US. Is it clear or not? Okay, for the more understanding, go to the next one. And one more is Organizational International Metro League Legal OIML. It is now mandatory for all manufacturing to indicate the percent of amount of alcohol on the bottle. OIML is the name same as GL, which is the most logical of the system. Okay. For understanding the measuring of alcohol by volume, you can see here. This is a 0 degree alcohol, means this is the water. Then we rise up the 100% alcoholic content, 170.5 and 200, right? In Gale Issue, there is a 100% proof, okay? And Psych scale, there is 175.1. In American, this 200-degree proof, right? Okay, if 70-degree proof Psych is equal to 40, is equal to 40% alcohol by volume, then it's in US proof it would be 80% US proof. How? If you convert Gale Usag in American scale, you have to multiply the value on by 2, right? Suppose you Gale Usag has a 40, then you have to multiply 40 into 2 is equal to, then is equal to 80 in American scale, right? Suppose another way, if you want to change in Psych scale, then you have to, like, you have to divide value, x is the value, into 7 by 4. If you want to convert by Gale Psych scale from Gale, then you have to x into 4 divided by 7, right? Just suppose it. Okay. By the American scale, if you want to convert in Gale, you have to divide by 2. Then you will get the value in Gale. I hope you are getting. Once again, you can see. Suppose you have a value of 40 in Gale, then you can put the value 40 into 4 and into 7. Whatever you will get, you can convert in American scale. You have to divide into 2. If you want to convert in Gale, you have to divide by 2. Similarly, Psych scale, if you want to convert in Gale, you have to put the value of here. If you want to convert in Psych scale, you have to put the value of this one, right? Only difference is you have to divide by 4 and multiply by 7. In Gale, you have to divide by 7 and multiply by 4. Okay, I hope this one would be clear for you. Okay, if you just take here, okay, Gale scale is used in France. Okay, Gale scale is mostly used in France and most of the Europe, and American scale as used in United States. All right. Okay. So you have heard the word ester. Ester, they are volatile compound formed when acid interact with alcohol. They give bucket to the wine and spirits. It's called ester, right? Fermentation, you have knows, is it means converting the sugar into alcohol and carbon dioxide by the action of heat, right? Okay, good. Congeners, once again I'm telling you what is congener. They are the element, acid and other flavoring substance obtained from the base of material during distillation, right? These are the elements, acids and other flavoring substance obtained from the base of material during distillation, right? Condensation, it is the process of converting vapor to liquid by cooling. Condensation is the process we have to cool the liquid, right? Okay, what is alcoholic was? It is a fermented liquid used in distillation. All right. Okay, this distillate, the term distillate is generally it is a vapor or liquid produced by the distillation. Distillation process is a process of separating elements in the liquid by vaporization and condensation, or separating elements, separating liquid into the alcohol liquid by the vaporization and condensation. Another term is effervescence. It is a formation of tiny bubbles or formed due to the presence of CO2. This is effervescence. Effervescence, it is a formation of tiny bubbles or formed due to the presence of CO2. You must have seen in the glass of the beer, the glass of the spirits, glass of this, all the carbon dioxide containing drinks. Maybe alcoholic or may not be alcoholic. The bubblies in the rosy wine also, and in sparkling wine, right? This is called effervescence. Like, okay, so I hope you have cleared all these things about the distillation process. So proof system, once again I'm telling you, the term proof come into use when the early distillers as spirit tried to prove the alcoholic strength of their product by mixing it with equal quantity of gunpowder and igniting it. If it is failed to ignite, it was condensed by the two-way. If you ignite after adding the gunpowder, if you not ignite, it is very weak, right? If in turn with the blue steady flame, it is proved suitable for the safe for drinking. Hence, the proof word proof. This was 100% proof condition was turned into about 50% alcohol. Anything under the proof, right? It will become steady flame, right? Okay. Proof was indicated by the same symbol used for degree of temperature, right? So temperature is the same symbol we have to describe is similar to the degree, right? So proof is similar like a degree symbol. Okay. One more thing is distilled drink. Young spirit, newly distilled is raw, sharp, and harsh in taste. These drinks are aged in wooden barrels to mellow and make the flavorful wood impart flavor and color to the spirit. All right. Okay. So the next things we will discuss in the next video.